In lesson 1.4, we're going to be looking at using a calculator. Some important things to look for are you need to find your sine, cosine, and tangent button. You also want to find your mode button. Some of you are going to have different locations for this. If you go to mode, you want to make sure that your calculator is in degree mode and not radians. So make sure you're in degree mode. I already am, so I'm going to quit. And then in example 1, you're going to find 6 trig functions for 27.4 degrees. We're in degree mode, and so you just type these in. So you're just going to have sine of 27.4, and I get 0.4602 if I round. Cosine 27.4 is 0.8878. And tangent of 27.4 is 0.5184. Now, what about the other three? We don't have buttons for the other three. So what you'll have to do for cotangent is type in 1 divided by the tangent. Secant is 1 divided by the cosine, and cosecant is 1 divided by the sine. So if I want cosecant, that will be 1 divided by sine of 27.4. Secant will be 1 divided by cosine 27.4. Cotangent will be 1 divided by tangent of 27.4. So let's do that. So cosecant will be 1 divided by sine 27.4. 2.173. Secant will be 1 divided by cosine 27.4. 1.264. Cotangent will be 1 divided by tangent 27.4. And I'm getting 1.9292. All right, 12 degrees, 3 minutes. Same question, just we have minutes now. The calculator doesn't do minutes, so you're going to have to change it into a decimal. Divide your minutes by 60 because there are 60 minutes in each degree. And so that is going to give me 0.05. So we're going to have 12.05 degrees is the equivalent, is the decimal equivalent to 12 degrees in 3 minutes. And now we just find all 6 trig functions. So find your sine, cosine, and tangent to begin with. So I just typed in sine of 12.05 and I got 0.2088. I typed in cosine of 12.05 and got 0.978. And I typed in tangent 12.05 and got 0.2135. Now we're going to find the reciprocal functions. So you're going to do 1 divided by each of those. So cosecant will be 1 divided by sine of 12.05. Secant will be 1 divided by cosine 12.05. Cotangent will be 1 divided by tangent of 12.05. So for cosecant, I'm getting 4.7901. Secant, I'm getting 1.0225. Cotangent, I'm getting 4.6845. On the back of your note sheet, we're talking about inverses. Now, inverses are different from reciprocals. They are not the same thing because even the reciprocals have their own inverse. So inverse sine is when you know the ratio, but you're looking for the angle that gives you that ratio. So the angle, you're looking for the angle whose sine is x. Inverse cosine has the little -1, inverse tangent has the little -1, and again, this is when you're looking for the angle, the rotation. And this is not an exponent, this is just notation for inverse. Cosecant, secant, and cotangent have the same little -1 in the top corner. You will see on your calculator that you have inverse buttons. In this particular calculator, I just have to hit this button twice to get my inverse for sine, cosine, and tangent. Other calculators, you'll have to hit the second button to get inverse for your trig function. But you'll see that you do not have cosecant, secant, or cotangent buttons. So how do we type in those? Well, you'll hit the inverse sign for cosecant, but then you'll have to do 1 divided by whatever the number is. You have to do inverse cosine for secant, but 1 divided by whatever the ratio is. Inverse tangent for cotangent, but you have to do 1 divided by, and this is inside the parentheses that you're dividing. So let's answer the following questions below. So inverse sine, they want to know what angle, when you take the sine of it, do you get 0.4791? So here I hit my button twice to get inverse sine. You might have to hit second sine for yours, but you should see a little -1 on your sine, and then type in your decimal. And I'm getting 28.63. This also wants me to label it as minutes, degrees in minutes. So if you take your decimal times 60, you can change that into minutes. So I'm getting 28 degrees, and this 37.8 rounds up to 38 minutes. Inverse cosine. So I'm hitting the cosine button twice in my calculator, but you might have to hit second cosine. I'm getting 24.15 degrees. If I take the 0.15 times 60, I get 9 minutes. Inverse tangent. $47.04. If I take my 0.04 times 60, I'm getting 2.4, which does not round up, so 47 degrees, 2 minutes. Cotangent, I don't have a cotangent button, so I'm going to do inverse tangent of 1 divided by 0.5234. Inverse tangent 1 divided by 0.5234. 62.37. And if I take my 0.37 times 60, I get 22.2, so 22 minutes. We don't have an inverse secant button, so we're going to do inverse cosine 1 divided by 2.581. I'm getting 67.2. We take 0.2 times 60, I get 12 degrees, 12 minutes. And then cosecant, you're going to do sine. I'm getting 70.33. Take your 0.33 times 60, and I'm getting 19.8, so 20 minutes.